In late 2022, the International Civil Aviation Organization member states adopted a long-term global goal to achieve net zero carbon emissions from the international aviation sector by 2050. MixJet, specializing in aviation service and ground arrangements, as well as overall flight support, is helping support this vision by taking important steps towards lowering the industry's carbon footprint, raising awareness, looking for more environmentally friendly alternatives, and breakthrough technologies to keep airliners and private jets in the air. I sat down at the COP28 talks here in Dubai to talk to the Executive Vice President of MixJet, Shukri Khalifa. COP28 Dubai, a very exciting time for the Emirate. What is MixJet doing here and what is your mission?
Well, Laura, we are here to represent the aviation sector. We are the only one invited. So it's very important and vital for MixJet to be part of the ongoing discussions toward a sustainable future in aviation.
Any exciting announcements we should be aware of, especially when it comes to aviation as well?
Definitely, MixJet has launched its own initiative, GreenHorizon. And by GreenHorizon, we need to reduce our carbon footprint by 30% until 2030. And of course, we are here to explore breakthrough technologies when it comes to different aspects in aviation.
Very much looking forward to hearing more about MixJet. Let's go and head on over to our studio to talk a little bit more.
All right.
Shukri Khalifa, great to have you here at Expo City Dubai at COP28. Let's start off with MixJet, what you do as a company and what your mission statement is.
Thank you for having me, Laura. MixJet is a flight support company that offers comprehensive solution to aircraft operators across the globe. Our services include fueling, ground handling, permits clearance, flight planning, and of course, concierge for private jets. We are based in Dubai. We have served a variety of clients ranging from private jet owners, cargo freighters, airliners, national carriers. And last year in 2022, we have successfully managed to deliver 50 million liters of Jet A1 to our clients. And that accumulates for 8,000 flights. Of course, we did ground handling for those flights. We did permit clearance. So we are very engaged with anything that is related to aircraft operator.
So tell us about your main achievements to date then.
Our main achievement is establishing the International Aviation Services Organization. It's a non-profit organization, was founded in 2015 in Geneva. The organization aims to represent all service providers, be it fuel suppliers, ground handlers, FBOs, and catering companies, and of course, companies like us, trip support companies. What we want to do is to provide a platform for those entities to make sure that they have a voice, they can voice up their opinion and discuss and tackle any kind of issue they might face in the future.
So when we look at sustainability, I was reading that if aviation were a country, it would be the 6th biggest emitter of CO2 emissions, which sounds huge. However, the percentage is only actually 3.6%, if I'm not wrong. So what are you doing to help reduce this carbon footprint then for the entire industry?
Of course, when you look at it from a perspective of numbers and figures, it's too low compared to other carbon emissions emitters, I would say 2 to 3%, as you said. But the more important in our case is to find breakthrough technologies that can help reducing that percentage. One of those is SAF, Sustainable Aviation Fuel. Recently, we have been contracting different entities and fuel suppliers all around the globe to make sure that our private jets owners, or whether it be cargo operators, have the ability to get to that product. Unfortunately, in many cases, the product is not found in many markets. So what we are trying to do as a reseller of that product is to infiltrate those markets and provide it with the best, highest quality. Other than that, we are trying on our own to start a different initiative. In 2023, we started our own initiative called GreenHorizon. It has two folds. One is the external, which I discussed, the SAF, Of course, there's also the part where we deal with electrified airports. This is a new shift in the market where airports are embracing and adding electrified vehicles and equipment. And when we talk about the second fold, which is the internal, we have to raise awareness among our employees. This is merely an issue of negligence by many companies. They focus on the external part, but they neglect the internal part. So we do seminars, we do workshops for our employees, and of course, using renewable energy is one factor. So most of our offices are powered by solar panels nowadays. Also, we have to take care of the waste by our employees, plastic, whatever. So we have a recyclable process in place. So in total, I can say it has to do with behavioral change and of course also breakthrough technologies. I would focus on the breakthrough technologies at this stage because this is the biggest challenge we are facing.
So speaking of that, where does automation, AI, and digital transformation come in within all of this, especially when looking within the aviation field and ground staff as well?
This is really interesting because in MixJet, we had a strategy to eliminate any factor that is related to consuming a lot of materials and creating waste. So what we came up with an automated software, we call it OGTS, Online Global Trips Support. This software is using AI and other automated features where an airline, if it comes to us, rather than using 20 people to do the task, they can do it with one click. They get all the services in one comprehensive one-place shop. And for them, this is first, it means that they have the ability to reduce dependence on many labor. And from our side, also, we reduce the amount of waste we are creating by extensive labor usage. So this is in part a solution for all airliners and executive aviation.
Well, private jets in the air can be quite a controversial topic, of course. So how do we tackle this head on? And do you think we're going to see hydrogen in the mix when it comes to aviation?
I understand the concern when it comes to private jet. Honestly speaking, from an expert perspective, I can say that we need a balanced approach in that sense. We can't tell all the private jet owners, the executive VIP celebrities, to sit home and don't go fly because of the emissions. What we can do is provide them with a solution. One solution, as we said, is SAF, where they can reduce the carbon emission until we get to a place where they're using 100% SAF in their fueling. Another one is carbon offsetting, where you have many programs. We offer it to our clients. If they want, let's say they are flying from point A to point B, we tell them you have to pay a specific premium fee where you can carbon offset the amount you have emitted during this flight. For them, they are voluntarily accepting that. They're very positive when it comes to that because they know that this is part of their corporate social responsibility to make sure that the environment is recovering and we are having a better future for our future generations.
Where does aviation come in actually when it comes to emissions? Where is it on the scale? What's the biggest emitter and where does aviation come within that?
The biggest emitter, if we talk about numbers, is like I can say the US market has 40% of the private aircrafts. USA, of course, is embracing new regulations. And of course, they want to achieve carbon zero by 2050, according to what IATA has put as a goal. And also the airliners. But the biggest problem we are facing in many countries, the national carriers, they don't have the allocated money to spend on the SAF. And this is where we believe there's the role of us in talking to different partners, fueling suppliers in particular, to make sure that they are providing this commodity in a cheaper price. At this stage, SAF is pretty expensive. I can tell you, if you go to France in one of their airports, Charles de Gaulle, for example, it is €3 for the Jet A1, the normal one. But when it comes to SAF, you are paying almost the double the price, €6 to €7. And that's pretty expensive. It puts a lot of burden on the airliners. And this is where we need to make sure that people coming together, different partners, to make sure that we have a sustainable solution for when it comes to this technology.
So you're here at COP28 to raise awareness for the industry. How important is collaboration for this going forward? How can we be across the board?
In our point of view, we believe that all parties should get together, join forces to reach our goals. And in IASO, our founding, we were as a founding member of the organization, we sit with different members, and we have reached to a conclusion where we should start actioning our agenda in a very fast pace. We started by implementing in 2024 something called the whitelist. The whitelist is an initiative that is focused on delivering sustainable fuel through different trip support companies, and of course recommending the electrified airports. For example, in China, you have 66 airports who are fully electrified, and all the equipments and vehicles are using renewable energy. While other airports, for example, they're not using it. So what our role is to make sure that when it comes to the private operator, we tell them, like, you can use this airport. It's very good airport, comfortable one. And this way you can be advancing and adhering to our policy when it comes to reducing the amount of carbon emissions. Of course, we have a lot of clients and members on board. They are willing to adapt this new change. And day by day, we are seeing more airports. For example, in Dubai, Danata, they have a very huge plan to electrify their 30,000 vehicles, equipment and vehicle, in DWC and in DXP. So it's a very brave plan. And that's what we are supporting. That's what we want to see in the future, in the next 10 years.
How are you adapting and changing your long-term sustainability goals, and what are those?
First of all, as I told you, we are using more technology in our daily basis operation. We believe that the more you use technology, the more you have the potential to reduce your carbon emissions. Second of all, I've explained the behavioral change when it comes to raising awareness among our employees and even partners. Some of our partners, they didn't know at some stage that small steps toward sustainability can be achieved by really minimum investment. So, of course, this is a money-oriented business, aviation, but you can do a lot when it comes to achieving those sustainable goals by reducing the amount of labor and allocating this labor to a different sustainable mission. For example, it shouldn't be that you are laying off those employees. You can reshuffle it in a way they are used to better enhance the sustainability goals.
Really fantastic to speak to you here at COP28. Thank you so much for bringing awareness to the industry as well. Thanks.
Thank you, Laura. I'm really happy to be here.